Have you ever found yourself endlessly scrolling on your phone, fully aware that an important task was waiting for you? You might have said, just 5 more minutes, only to realize that an entire hour has passed. The deadline keeps approaching, anxiety builds up, and guilt knocks on the door. If this scenario sounds familiar, know that you are not alone. Procrastination is a common and insidious trap that affects millions of people every day, regardless of age, profession, or level of discipline. But here's some good news. There's a way out. And it starts with understanding what is really happening inside your brain. Procrastination doesn't mean you are lazy or incapable. On the contrary, it is a behavior deeply rooted in neurological and emotional mechanisms. It is, above all, a habit. And like any habit, it can be identified, understood, and reprogrammed. Let's understand the cycle. You encounter a challenging task that requires effort or generates insecurity. Resistance then arises. Instead of facing the task, your brain, in search of immediate relief, diverts your attention to quick sources of pleasure: social media, videos, food, random conversations. All of this triggers the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with the feeling of reward and pleasure. However, this feeling is momentary. Soon after, guilt, regret, and increased stress follow. The original task remains, now laden with even more emotional weight. We thus enter a vicious cycle that may seem impossible to break. It's important to remember, your brain is simply trying to protect you from discomfort. The problem lies in the fact that by seeking short-term relief, you sabotage the long-lasting benefits that come with consistent effort, like finishing a project, achieving a goal, or realizing a dream. The key is to train your mind to tolerate small discomforts and appreciate long-term rewards. Understanding this mechanism is the first step toward regaining control and transforming your relationship with time, productivity, and above all, with yourself. According to renowned neuroscientist Andrew Huberman, the desire for something, whether it's completing an important task, eating a treat, or achieving a long-term goal, triggers an increase in dopamine levels, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. However, there's a surprising detail. Shortly after this initial peak, dopamine levels drop below baseline. This drop is what triggers the true engine of motivation, the internal drive that pushes us to act with purpose. This reveals a powerful lesson. Instead of passively waiting for a sudden burst of inspiration, we can learn to stimulate our own neurological system and take control of our motivation. How can we apply this in our daily lives? When you feel the urge to procrastinate, instead of succumbing to the temptation to check your phone or seek instant distractions, intentionally lean into discomfort. Do something physical and immediate, like 10 jumping jacks, a 30-second plank, or even a cold shower. These stimuli activate your nervous system in a healthy way and reset your dopamine levels, creating a bridge between inertia and action. Small physical actions have a powerful effect on the brain. Another practical and accessible tool is meditation. Just 5 minutes of mindfulness focusing on your breath, the ambient sounds, or a repeated word can reduce stress, strengthen self-control, and improve your ability to concentrate. Over time, this mental training sharpens focus like a muscle, making the brain more resilient to distractions. And here comes an extremely effective psychological trick: the 2-minute rule. Tell yourself you only need to start for just 2 minutes. This small commitment is enough to trick the initial resistance. Often, once you begin, your brain enters a flow state and wants to continue. The difficult part is overcoming the barrier of inertia. Once that is surpassed, progress becomes natural. The key to all of this is consistency. Motivation is not something to be waited for. It is something to be cultivated daily. Creating the habit of acting even when you don't feel like it is what separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. With daily practice, your neurological system starts to work in your favor, not against you. Hal Elrod, in the bestseller The Miracle Morning, shares a powerful 5-step strategy to overcome the notorious snooze button, and this practice has completely transformed my routine. Creating a purposeful morning ritual with movement and clarity of intention can redefine the tone of your entire day. How we start our morning directly influences our productivity, mood, and mental energy in the hours that follow. If you find yourself stuck in the cycle of procrastination, don't wait for a Monday or an ideal moment. Start small, but start today. Your brain is malleable. Motivation is not a mysterious gift, it is a muscle. And like any muscle, it can be trained and strengthened daily, with consistency and patience. Everything begins with a clear intention. Before you sleep, deliberately choose a positive and specific thought for the next day. Your last thought at night often becomes your first upon waking. Instead of fearing the sound of the alarm, feed off the expectation of something that will do you good, no matter how small. A quiet cup of coffee, a personal goal, or simply the pleasure of starting anew. Here are 4 practical actions that can help. 1. Change your environment. Place your alarm clock far from your bed. This forces you to get up to turn it off, breaking inertia and initiating both physical and mental awakening. This simple movement activates your willpower and helps interrupt the cycle of laziness. 2. Activate your body. Brush your teeth as soon as you get up. This automatic action sends a signal to your brain that the day has begun. Next, drink a full glass of water. During sleep, our bodies become dehydrated, and this slight dehydration contributes to feelings of tiredness. Hydrating first thing in the morning awakens your cells and speeds up your metabolism. 3. Energize yourself. Put on workout clothes or take a cold shower. This stimulates your body to shake off lethargy and prepares your mind to face the day with more energy and willingness. 4. Change your internal narrative. Swap "I can't" for "I can try." Procrastination is just a mental habit, not a permanent trait of your personality. With small, conscious, and consistent actions, it is possible to rewrite the script of your life. Change doesn't happen overnight, but it happens every day, one step at a time. Remember, motivation is like coffee. It gives you that initial boost, but it's daily dedication that keeps your heart burning. Small progress is still progress. Grow a little every day. It doesn't matter if the goal is health, knowledge, or any personal achievement. Trying is always better than paralyzing yourself out of fear. In the end, change is direction, not a destination. Build the best version of yourself one morning at a time. You managed to get up today. That is already a victory. Now it's your turn. Try one of these habits and let me know in the comments which one worked best for you. And don't forget to subscribe for more productivity and success tips.